Rise and shine. It's time to get the day started with the morning show of record for the Homestead community. It is the Farm2Table Direct Show morning edition. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you all in. Good morning, Jack and Dina. I don't know if it's both of you, one of you. You're in on both channels this morning saying hello. Anyway, we are here. Today's show, conservative anarchist and conspiracy theories. Uh, I hope that didn't scare everybody away. I know that my scheduling might have not got notifications sent out. Something did not save correct last night when I set that in, and it was probably my fault, whatever it was. But anyway, glad to see you all in this morning. It's wow, it's Thursday, and we are ready to rock and roll. Hey, there's Scotty. Good morning, buddy. So again, welcome into the morning crew. Glad to have you all in with us. Hope your day is off to a great and wonderful start. Uh, I'll be honest with you, I slept in a few minutes. But anyway, man, I've been enjoying this warm up, short sleeves, and beautiful temperatures. But let's head on over to Jack and Dyer Family Farm for our redneck weather report. And don't worry, Jack, I won't cut you off today. Good morning, Clyde. Glad to see you in with us this morning as well. All right.
Good morning, rednecks. It is 43 degrees this morning, February the 25th, 2025. Got a 3 mile an hour east wind, making it feel like 39 degrees. Get this, y'all. We're going to get to 77 degrees today. God bless you. We'll see you.
All righty, man. Y'all are as warm out there as we are. Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Good to see you in, and glad. Yeah, like I said, Jack, I said I was going to get better, and there we are. I'm doing my best to get better on that. Yeah, I forgot this is Thursday. Robbie's not with us. He has a Bible study that he goes to on most Thursday mornings, and so he won't be with us today. But too bad he's going to miss an opportunity to chat in on a humdinger of a show today. But anyway, let's jump right in. It might have been it. Did I grab the wrong date? You know what? Let me look at this. I sure did. I tell you what, we can fix that. Hang on just a second. That's the thing about it. Unfortunately, sometimes my stuff doesn't update. Uh, so I'd say it felt just as hot as yesterday. There it is. Well, hey, y'all guys get to get a double whammy. Uh, I hope y'all aren't hearing all that nonsense. But anyway, let's try this again. I'm going to share this with y'all. We're going to try this again. I got to get this right for Jack.
Well, good morning, rednecks. It is 50 degrees, February the 27th, 2025, and 9 mile an hour north wind, making it feel like still 50 degrees. We're going to get to 68 degrees today. God bless y'all. See you.
All right, Jack. No, Scotty, I have not had coffee and slept terribly. I got hot last night. This warm up. That's the downside to that. But hey, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get through. Listen, when I get into this subject, you'll understand. It's kind of one of them disturbing kind of subjects. Kind of messes with a guy's sleep. But no, I have not had coffee yet, and yeah, that it's probably showing. I've got to have one of those. Whoa, good morning. Okay. Well, Scotty's with us. Well, listen, sorry that Sonia has the flu. Prayers for her. And, anyway, so good morning with you, Robbie. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, my wife's been sick the last couple days. She seems to be on the uptick of it, but she had that head cold that goes around right now, and seems to be hitting everybody. But anyway, now that I've fumbled the ball a few times and picked it up and scooped it and scored, let's move on to today's reality smackdown. Doge investigation uncovers U.S. aid slush funds, and yeah, surprise, surprise, surprise there. More funds being found, more money being hidden, supposed to go here, there, and yonder, whatnot. Uh, got a feeling there's going to be a lot more of that going on. Anyway, here's one that just doesn't make very nice news. Egg prices could jump 41% this year, says the USDA, as Trump's bird flu plan is unveiled. Yeah, some stuff with vaccines and possible vaccines. I didn't see the word mRNA in there, but it doesn't mean anything. We'll see what happens there. I'm going to have to dig into that one a little deeper before I comment too much more. Baby white rhino Nova makes her public debut at Belgium's Paradise Zoo. So we had a baby white rhino born in a zoo. But anyway, Ah, and let's see. Man assaulted by as many as 30 teenage bicyclists in Los Angeles, police say. It's a crazy, crazy world. And let's see. This one just popped up. This just got released, and so uh, sad note there on this one. Um, let me see. Where's that? Actor Gene Hackman. Many of y'all may remember him. A lot of different ones. But anyway, him and his wife were found dead Wednesday afternoon at their home in New Mexico, along with their dog. Police provided no cause of death. Said there was no indication of foul play. It's an active and ongoing investigation. So another sad passing for the acting world. But anyway, so that will round out. Let me see. Actually, I did have a couple more headlines. Let's get those up here this morning. Where am I at? There we go. Okay. Let's see. The Trump administration is accelerating its sweeping federal workforce cuts, directing agency heads to finalize plans for large scale firings by mid March. Trump had his first cabinet meeting yesterday, and it was over an hour long on that. And more than 100 officials from the U.S. intelligence community are being fired after being identified as participants in secret chats on government servers, according to Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. And millions of Americans who receive Social Security benefits will get a lump sum amount and see a spike in their monthly payments as part of a new law signed last month, according to the Social Security Administration. So there we go. That is today's reality smackdown, and we are moving right along this morning. Um, so let's go through a little bit of this day in history. Ah, 1801, Washington, D.C., placed under congressional jurisdiction. Um, yeah, Scott, I'm going to back up to that. It sounds reasonable, when you have something like that, including and there's no sign of foul play or unfortunately murder, suicide, something like that. So maybe so. We'll see how that comes up. Still tragic, still sad. So hopefully, you know. And anyway, um, as far as the Gene Hackman story, and I know that's what he was talking about. All right, 1813, first federal vaccination legislation enacted. We're just talking about vaccines, all the way back to 1813. 1919, jumping wide a ways forward. American Association for the Hard of Hearing forms in New York City. What? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry. No. Anyway, I shouldn't poke fun. When these aren't in, I've got hearing aids in, so I'm in the Hard of Hearing club. Anyway, not too many years around loud noises. But anyway, 1951, 22nd Amendment ratified, limiting U.S. presidents to 2 terms. What do you think? We should have got the Congress and the House while we were there? I'm thinking so. But anyway, 1973, the American Indian movement occupied Wounded Knee in South Dakota in protest. Let's see. Where are we at? 1987, the NCAA cancels SMU's entire 1987 football schedule for both gross violations of NCAA rules regarding athletic corruption. Yep, the old death sentence in sports, taking away an entire season, dismantled the program. And it took till just recent that they even got better. And last year, they were in the college football playoffs. So a long ways for SMU to recover from that. And anyway, good to see them back, though. But anyway, 1990, Exxon Corporation and Exxon Shipping are indicted on 5 criminal counts in connection with the Exxon Valdez oil spill. 2021, the U.S. authorizes its third COVID-19 vaccine from Johnson & Johnson, a one-shot vaccine. There we go. That's just some of the crazy things that are happening in the world today in history as we go back in time. Seems February 27th was a crazy, crazy day. But anyway, it is time to get right on in to this morning's topic of the day, and we are going to slide that over there. Where did I slide that sheet? Boy, I am just, here we are. We're going to slide things out of order here just a little bit. I tried something new last night of doing my show flow and my formats and stuff on a different program, and it's got me all messed up, I believe. But anyway, everyone, get your tinfoil hats on. Okay, get your tinfoil hats out. I know y'all can laugh, have a good time, because today we are talking about conservative anarchists and wild conspiracy theories. And it is Conspiracy Day, or at least Conspiracy Theory Day, here on the Farm2Table Direct Show Morning Edition. And you would not believe some of the wild conspiracy theories that are out there today. I'm gonna go ahead and ask a question, and we're gonna. Well, actually, I'm just gonna get in. I'll save that question to the end. And I bring this up, kind of what got me on this topic after reading, as I often do when they come in, Joel Salatin's blog post uh, concerning his. But this one was concerning his trip to Acapulco, Mexico. He was a speaker at Anarchapulco. And what is this about? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that took me a minute. This is an international gathering of anarchons, which is anarchy or anarchy conservatives. And it's been going on for about 20 years, and it's in direct opposition to neocons like Mike Pompeo and Mitt Romney, that type. Now, get me if I'm wrong, but anarchy and organized convention or conference just doesn't seem to go together too well. Just seems like something that uh, uh, wouldn't go together very well. Seems like organization. I'm just saying. I don't know. Well, anyway, sounds harmless, you might say, and in truth, it likely is. The next question you might ask, as I did, was what was our esteemed colleague and mentor and friend doing at a convention or gathering of anarchists, conservative or otherwise? And his response was, I was glad to be invited. My message of non chemical farming and self reliance was universally well received. And that was from him. Now, that's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, some of the conspiracies and statements that we share really kind of set me back in my seat. And listen, it's not even the fact that there are those out there who believe wholeheartedly in these conspiracy theories, but there's enough of them to have a convention where they get up and share in public. I mean, hey, just saying, y'all. Uh, they gathered all in one place. Now, granted, Acapulco, Mexico is a pretty good place to gather up. Seems pretty nice weather. Great, because in fact, if you're going to have one, yeah. Now I just wonder how many went to get away from the weather, because listen to this. It was 90 degrees with humidity, and it was 10 degrees down here. So I think it was an excuse to go south for the winter. I don't know. Either way, a bit jealous. Uh, so, what were some of these conspiracy theories or tirades that might warrant an entire convention? Well, let's dig into some of this, because it is wild and crazy, y'all. Apparently, when he first got there was a person on stage, and in Joel's words, curled his hair with his tirade against Trump and Israel. This speaker said there was no Israel and there is no Jew today, and that Trump will end up being a tyrant. Anyway, you can kind of get the picture where that was going. And I mean, we hear that from time to time. There are people out there who hold a similar opinion. Uh, feel free to, have opinion. Okay. But he said another speaker couldn't have been more opposite. Trump represented a revival of everything that is decent, righteous, and freedom oriented. But then he went on in his euphoria. I love this one. That Trump was going to use Bitcoin to leverage the world economy and wipe out the U.S. debt using cryptocurrency. Now, there's an extreme thought. I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't know. But anyway, apparently there was a crypto guru, has his own pie, asked and said that guy was nuts and such an idea is impossible and preposterous. So it would seem that even within the conspiracy theory crowd and within the conservative anarchy crowd, there's disagreement. Imagine that. Seems reasonable. All right, now here we get into some of the ones. Trump assassination attempt was completely fake. What do you think about that? Uh, they said Trump had a packet of Hollywood ketchup blood in his hand and smacked it against his head to make it look like blood. Now, at that point, we're somewhat plausible. Okay, I can maybe go with you on this little conversation. But what they could not answer for was the alleged shooter, who hundreds of people saw being killed by security. And their reply, I guess he drew the short straw. Hmm, I don't know. Anyway, that's one. Ah, now here's another one that was a big public debate, uh, whether the Earth is flat or round. That one's the one that kind of got me and Keith kind of giggling just a little bit, and that was, that there's still people out there who actually believe the Earth is flat. People have flown around it. We've got pictures, video. It's. I think we've established that the Earth. I thought we solved this. I don't know, a few centuries ago, but what do I know? But anyway, apparently, the Earth is flat around us one. We haven't been to the moon. Now, I've actually listened to the people behind that. The leading guy watched it on the Joe Rogan show, and you know they kind of got some stuff on that one. Uh, it's uh, it's my wife just walked in and looked at me with this tinfoil hat on my head like I had two heads. Uh, but anyway, uh, But anyway, where we at? The stuff with the moon, I can kind of understand. I mean, that one I can maybe go along with that one. There's some definite questions, like why we haven't been back in 50 plus years, the technology that was existent then, et cetera. Now, I'll answer some of that here in a minute. Now, the Twin Towers of 9/11 was an inside job orchestrated by George W. Now that one, I've heard that one a long time, and of course that was a big part of my life. So maybe, and of course everybody's JFK. Well, we've heard the big debate about whether JFK was a lone gunman or not, and the grassy knoll, and all the different things with the magic bullet and all this stuff. Now those files are getting set to be released, I think, so maybe we can uncover some things. But uh, this one was that he wasn't assassinated at all, that it was all for show, it was all fake, and basically he was, just, I don't know. But it's like, well, where's the guy been for the last, 60, 70 years, 60 something years, I don't know. But anyway, uh, now there was pretty this at this particular convention, pretty good comment out about regarding limited government, the basic libertarian pitch for closing down all U.S. foreign military bases. Now, here's another one: marriage licenses. Marriage is not the state's business. Well, hello, Jeremiah 1111. Welcome in. Glad to see you in here. Hadn't seen that name before, but good to see you. Good to see you in here. Anyway, 2 years ago, this place apparently Ron Paul went there. Now, this is one part that now non-public schooling being pretty common there. Uh, Anti-Semitism, quite a bit of that apparently. Not sure. I don't feel that, but and all taxes are stealing. Now, I know it probably feels that way, but I don't think all are. We need protection. There are certain things, but I don't think it should be forced out of our payroll. I'm a big fan of sales tax. Get rid of all the other stuff. Um, anyway, like many of society's fringe elements, you need to let the completely weird stuff go. And another one, COVID didn't exist. That's another one still hanging out there. Uh, but anyway, we got plenty of things to work on. I say pick the load first. But anyway, with our remaining time, we get into some of the hmm, let's see, some of the theories y'all have heard. I want to swap my hat off now because it's bugging me. Uh, um, Okay, Jeremiah. That's Do you know BlackRock is behind everything? Rockefeller, aka BlackRock. Now, listen, that one I'll touch up on that one just a little bit. I'm not saying no. BlackRock, i.e. Rockefeller. There's a lot there. There's a lot of stuff that they go on. You know, they pull a lot of strings. I mean, they've got money tied up and hands tied up and things, and uh, that's a whole other show. Honestly, I could probably do just about the finances of BlackRock, but not typically where I go with things. However, my brother and I on our regular show have delved off into that, and there's powers that there's power players and financial power players and world leaders, world organizations that pull a lot of strings, and so that one's one. Uh, Scotty shared. Let me see. I think it was fake just to get the sympathy, just to get the sympathy vote into office. Um, yeah, um, I won't. You know, I don't disagree. I mean, that wouldn't work. I mean, I think that would work. However, what I would say with that is, perhaps where I'm at is, again, same thing. What happened? What about the shooter? Now I listen. I know they can fake that stuff. Okay, I do. I'm well aware. There's a lot of questions about what happened that day that haven't been answered. That hopefully maybe we can get some stuff. I don't know. We'll probably never know. We know more about, uh, you know, we've had other shooters that they know more about them in half an hour to an hour after the shooting than they did, then we still know about this guy and probably won't. But, there's a lot there and a lot of questions. But I do understand why people would feel that way. It was odd, but. It would take, I mean, you want to talk about a large conspiracy, that would take a very large one. But anyway, to get that many people involved. Anyway, so, just some of the crazy stuff. Oh, okay. He's saying, all right, I see where BlackRock was behind the assassination attempt on Trump. I could see that one. I definitely could see, like I said, I mean, if you want to put people, there's probably a pretty good list there, Jeremiah, probably a pretty good list. Good morning, Tracy, at the Garden Kitchen with Tracy. Glad to see you in with us. Uh, but anyway, there's probably, like I said, a large, that one that there could be some legitimacy to that. And I'm sure that they had some friends, involved with that one. But yeah, that one's not so far out to be unbelievable, Jeremiah. Unfortunately, I hate that that's the way it is, but that one's not that far out of the realms of possibilities. Uh, but anyway, I had a little fun putting the old tinfoil hat on. Sadly, a lot of these, what were conspiracy theories, or labeled as conspiracy theories, which, oh, by the way, is a good way to discredit people and kind of dismiss their accusations or dismiss the facts. It's just label it as a conspiracy theory, and a lot of people tend to turn off on it and step away. Whereas, hey, sometimes we need to dig a little deeper, because how many of these things that were alleged, how many of these things over the last several years, were alleged that kind of came out to be a little bit of, kind of came out to be true, kind of came out to be the direction of things. So, don't dismiss the old tinfoil hatters. Don't dismiss us. That now, I will listen. Like I said, I still chuckle at the idea that uh, some level of anarchists are actually organized and having a convention that seems to go contrary to the very term anarchist. But I don't know, just me. But anyway, so there you go, folks. Just a little bit of interesting, something a little different today, from our normal. Kind of have a little fun with it, but also at the same time make you think a little bit and question. We sometimes need to look beyond the how should we say, look beyond uh, the surface, look beyond the cover, if you will, and see what we have happen there. But anyway, there we go. We're going to wrap that up and call that a day. But I am going to leave this before we go. I'm going to wait because um, what I'm going to ask, is, I mean, over here in the chat is great. I always enjoy the chat. But what we're going to ask, I'm going to put a question, ask a question for the comments on YouTube. Down in the comments section. I guess you can leave them here in the chat if you want to, and which we've already heard a couple. But what is the wildest conspiracy theory that you've ever heard? That's going to be our question of the day. That can be left in chat or in the comments. But if you get a chance, leave them in the comments so that we can, that can maybe spark a little bit of conversation and get things going in the comments section for those who may join us later or whatever. But anyway, so let's move right along. Tip of the day today. I'm glad you're in for it, Tracy. Attitudes are contagious. Make sure yours is worth catching. That's it. I'll repeat that. Attitudes are contagious. Contagious. Well, I'm going to tell you what, that is killing me. Make sure yours is worth catching. That's right. That's a good thing, right? That's a good idea. Anyway, let's see. Upcoming events: Boston Mountain Homestead Workshop, March 1st, Chester, Arkansas. Okie Home, that's Saturday. Okie Homestead Expo, March 21st and 22nd, Mays County Fairground, Pryor, Oklahoma. Of course, those tickets are $50. And man, I'm going to see so many of you there. Look forward to seeing you all there. And let's see, today is the 27th. So we are 20 days plus 1 day. Would that be 21 or 22 days? Something like that. Anyway, wild and crazy. 3 weeks, like I said, 3 weeks. Arkansas, Arkansas Homesteading Conference, March 29th, the very next Saturday after that. Cleveland County Fairgrounds, Rising, Arkansas. That's an 11th year event, believe it or not, but it is growing. And they got some speakers, and anyway, a lot of education going on there. New Beginnings Homestead Expo, April 12th at New Beginnings Church in Nowata, Oklahoma. Keith and I have been invited to speak there along with our friend Dwayne Hall. So looking forward to that. Let's see. Get back to that one in just a minute there. The Shindig Ozark Living Expo, April 25th, 26th, Newton County Fair and Rodeo, Jasper, Arkansas. That same weekend, the Homestead Conference, Waco, Texas, April 25th and 26th. Joel Salatin, I know, is leading that one. One I just found out about yesterday, so we've added it into the lineup. Homesteading and Outdoor Expo, April 26th. One-day event from 9 to 5 at the barn at Oleander, Port St. Lucie, Florida. $15. So for some of our people down in Florida, down in the southeast down there, there's one there, the Homesteading and Outdoor Expo. That same weekend, where many of y'all will be, 10 Killer YouTube Meetup, April 25th through 27th, Lake 10 Killer, Oklahoma. Cherokee Landing State Park at the Creek Shelter. RSVP to 10 Killer YT Meetup at gmail.com. That is 10 Killer YT Meetup at gmail.com. If you have questions about that, or they want you to RSVP if you're going to be there even for just one day. The Homestead Festival, June 6th and 7th, Hardison Mills near Columbia, Tennessee. That's the one that's at Roy Feek's place. That's a huge event. So anyway, but at the end of starting fall, end of summer, Ozark Homestead Expo, Ozarks, plural, Ozarks Homestead Expo, September 5th and 6th, Marshfield, Missouri. Another great lineup there as well. Looking forward to that. And some goat milk ice cream. Oh, man, I hope it's there this year. It was awesome. And at the end of September, our very own Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous is September 26th and 27th at the Southeast Expo Center in McAllister, Oklahoma. You can find them on Facebook, or you can get more information at oklahomahomesteadrendezvous.org. Disclaimer, if a lot of y'all already know, Keith and I are a part of the committee, part of the planning committee on that, and work behind the scenes. But anyway, Chris and Dodge, and there's a Happy Kaye Homestead, many of doing great and wonderful work in the committee. So getting ready to have a great expo again this year. And of course, to round it out, Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th, Front Royal, Virginia. And that one is just about sold out. So if you're on that side of the world and can make it, better grab some tickets. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and back up to this. let's see, Jeremiah, you remember 4 years ago, January 6th, when Trump thanked Q and mentioned Q for the first, he said time later on in it, but for the first time. Uh, you know, I didn't. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't, but that is an interesting one. That, yeah, everybody remembers Q and QAnon and all that stuff going on back then. A lot of people think that was an inside deal. Some behind the scenes stuff. Interesting. But anyway, so yeah, there's another one of those ones that's out there. And yes, goat milk ice cream is the best. I agree. Up at the expo up there that we went to, they had goat milk ice cream, and that was great. But they had partnered up with a coffee, one of the coffee provider for that expo, and had put coffee in coffee flavoring, or actually put coffee in their soft serve. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely marvelous. So been wanting some ever since. But anyway, folks, that is a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Direct Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we explore headlines, stories, and more that are impacting our world today and beyond. Um, you know what? Go ahead and answer that in the chat there, Jeremiah. I'm going to keep reading, but go ahead and throw that in. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and the community. So until next time, keep your roots deep, your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. And remember, we are hashtag stronger together. It truly does take us all. So as you go out today, be a blessing to someone, and we will see you all on the other side. And before we hit Hank, we're going to answer this right here. Jeremiah in the chat said, do you know why he said Q? And then he said Q is a god, little g, Star Trek. Yeah, I do remember this. Yeah, that was, now that I think about it. I had forgot about that one, Jeremiah. Interesting. And I remember Q was like yeah, I remember now. But anyway, we're going to get out of here, folks. Interesting show this morning. Great chat. So we will jump out of here. Jeremiah, I hope to get to see you soon on some other shows. We do it every morning, 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. And then on Tuesday nights, we have a live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So welcome in. Glad to see you. Appreciate your participation in the chat and everybody else as well. Y'all have a great day. Robbie, tell Sonia we hope she gets feeling better. And we will talk to you all soon. I'm going to hand this over to Hank to get us out of here. Take it away,
No
Hank.
humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.